Look at that. Last night, this spider was in my room. We don't know. We've asked the locals what the name of it is, but we can't get a straight answer. But they tell you if it bites you, you get infected. It won't kill you or anything, but it's definitely an interesting beast. You can see it's got I believe that's an egg sac on the bottom of it. It's not a tarantula, but it's big, it's nasty, and they're all over the place up here. Up here, you got to worry about the king cobras. They've got the big snakes up here. You got scorpions, lots of insects, lots of spiders. Malaria and dengue fever with the mosquitoes is a big deal. But when you get guys like this, he's big and he's fast, even with the eggs on the bottom of him. See if we can get him to move. Go, buddy, go, go, go. He's kind of scared, huh? There he goes. Go on. Go on, buddy, go. There he goes. Look at him hop along there. Look at that. Woohoo! And off he goes back to another guy's cottage. Good stuff. View outside is spectacular, unbelievable. I don't know what we're doing. Hey, Rennie. Yeah, there he is. How you doing, buddy? Good morning, man.
Right, had a good night, huh?
It was great. And last night's ride was spectacular. I mean, I know. Last night, I know. And one thing about having a guide that makes having a guide wonderful, you know, is I like to ride at night. I'm a big night fan riding, as you know. I love to ride at night, and he knows it's dangerous. He knows the roads. He knows what I should and shouldn't be doing, and he made it very clear yesterday. We don't want to ride at night on certain roads, and he was right, 100% right.
And they point with a finger somewhere in any direction, but it can be
yeah, and the signs aren't listed in English. A lot of the places I go around the world, you know, in the more remote areas of the world, it's simply too hard to get around. I mean, if you don't know the language, if you can't speak the language, if you don't have someone with you that can help you with that kind of stuff, you're going to have a lot of issues, you know. So, yeah, it's good to have a guide. I like having a guide for these short trips. It gets you there, gets you in and out, and it gets you to places literally like where we're at right now. There's nobody out here, man. There's a few people here, but for the most part, it's pretty hardcore to get here, you know? Yeah, today we were riding out from Mondhulkiri, and you know, like I said before, not a lot of maps and stuff, not a lot of GPS trails and stuff here, so on this day all I can say is so much for the GPS. At least we got to a gas station before we headed out into the unknown on this day. These kind of gas stations are dotted all over the countryside, but once you get in the back country, it gets harder and harder to get gas. Getting gas here, you know, these little stands, sometimes you'll have the crank pump, other times you'll have a lady giving you gas in a 1 liter bottle of Pepsi, a 1 bottle, you know, a liter of Jack Daniels or Johnny Walker. It's a pretty interesting experience, to say the least. Today, I knew this was, you know, going to be a real test as we went further back into the backcountry. It was getting really hot. It was wearing on both me and Josh very early in the morning, wearing all the gear and everything, the dust. All I can say is this video looks really nice, but don't let it fool you. It was hot and humid the whole time. In the background you can hear the insects. It's like a symphony of noise, you know? And it's dry season, so it's less insects right now. But in the rainy season, this place is a nightmare. You gotta wear long pants, make sure the insects and leeches don't get up inside your pants and into your crotch and in your feet. But yeah, it's loud, very loud. The number one reason I like riding out in the countryside is you get to see things that most people will never get to see in their lives. As we stopped in this village, we had the very unique experience of seeing an elephant come into the village, and he was delivering fuel for the local villagers. During rainy season, the mud is so heavy that there's no way you can even get by a lot of times in vehicle, by motorcycle like we have anyway, but the main mode of transportation to get food in and out of a lot of these villages is elephants, like you can see here. This video, man, there's nothing staged. This is not a staged video, and when you see the images of the Cambodian people in these villages and the hill tribes, this is harsh living. This is real living. It's like camping every day. As we rode through this rice field, I quickly became aware that our GPS had failed. It was the beginning of a bad day, to say the least. 4 hours into our ride, we had our first bike technical. I think it was a clutch cable or a throttle cable popped or something. Not a big deal, but the heat was so intense and the humidity, and the insects and the bugs and everything, it was really starting to become an issue. Only being 4 hours into the ride, we still had plenty of water. I think at this point Josh had lost a bottle of water, and it was getting, you could feel tensions mounting. Every time we had to stop, it was just so hot. When you're on the bike and you're moving, it's okay, but every time you stop to fix something, get a drink, you got 3 guys in your group, one guy wants to pee, one guy wants to do this, another guy wants to do that, take a picture, whatever it might be. Every time you stop with all that gear on, man, the heat just really gets you in a weird state. But once you're moving, that convection cooling really kicks in and makes you feel good. Stopping is not what you want to do, even though this is such beautiful stuff to see. As we continued riding on, days of preparing for this trip and everything else started wearing on me, and I fully had the onset of heat exhaustion. I was so hot, so miserable. Rennie got us to these waterfalls, this river, and it was just like bliss.
minutes ago, I was dying from heat stroke, I thought. Really hot, so I got into cool water. He's standing here shivering. He's cold. I'm still hot. Josh, you still hot? I'm still hot. It's still hot. How can you be cold? I don't get it. You've seen a lot of the slash and burn that takes place around here. A lot of the forests and stuff in Cambodia have been cut down to make room for rice paddies, farms, different agricultural things for locals, which you can't blame them. They need to make a living. It's very subsistence living. But these trees like this, hundreds of years old. These are 100 plus. Beautiful trees. It's part of nature, and where we're at right now in this forest, there's literally thousands of them around here, and they're absolutely beautiful. I don't know the name of it. I'm not a tree specialist, but man, it sure is nice to see something real in this day of age, huh? But you know, as long as they keep cutting down more and more, as Rennie's told me many times on these rides we go on, every time we go, he's always mentioning, last time I came through here, this was a trail, now it's a road. Last time I came through here, this was all forest, now it's a field. But how do you stop that? I mean, how do you tell people that have very little as far as economic, you know, anything economic, that they can't do it? They got to find something else to do, other than just destroy it. You know? I don't know. It's a dilemma. But once you're here, you understand it. But to stand on the outside looking in from my house in the United States or Europe, it's easy to say they can do something else. They can do something else. But until you're here, you'll never understand it, never get it. And it's a hard thing to understand. It's a good tree. It's good to see a lot of these trees still around. But how much longer they're going to be here, who knows, you know? Yeah, the heat exhaustion thing started really wearing on. It was evident when I came to this river crossing. I was pretty weak, but coming across the river crossing, real easy, not a big deal. We'd done hundreds of them before. I just caught a rock wrong, man, went down. It was frustrating, not a bad thing, but just frustrating. And took a break. Rennie and Josh kind of looked the bike over, make sure it was okay. I just took a breather, got some pictures. The locals gathered around and played some of the local music for us while we kind of relaxed and just got our bearings back, got some directions on where we were going and headed to next. But riding out, it was getting really dark. We realized we weren't going to get back to our rendezvous point where we actually had planned to stay that night, and we ended up having to stay in a local gold mining village. It was It was like a throwback to the 49ers in the United States when the gold rush was on. The town had its own little brothel, it had its own little haircut salon, had restaurants, a general store. It was just like you could imagine back in the day when the 49ers crossed America to go for the gold rush in the United States. Yeah, today was a great day of riding in Cambodia. Went down a couple times. That's expected. That's all right. I'll take that. Went down, did Miranda action. Not too bad. Then I washed out in a river, kind of rock flowing, and went down, and it caused us to be here where we're at right now. The engine got flooded, and took Josh and Rennie and a bunch of locals, and quite a bit of time to get it all so situated. Great to have Rennie on board. That's what you bring a guide for. This is the reason why he was able to go into a local town, get what he needed, knows how to speak the language. I'm telling you, go on these trips alone without this kind of knowledge or this kind of experience with you, it'd be a nightmare. I almost got the heat stroke. That waterfall is absolutely the best thing in the world for me. Cooled my body, my core temperature down a lot. Really saved me a lot. Got to get focused. Get going. Great single track, great villages to go in. Beautiful smiles on the people's faces. Good stuff. Had a beautiful day. Beautiful, outstanding. Nothing. Just Khmer music. Crickets. Locusts. Beautiful, huh? Into the beautiful shop. Right here, good guest house, huh? Typical bathroom. Used to these all the time now here. You just get, pretty much this is it. Get a bucket. It's the same thing you use. You notice there's no toilet paper in here. You go to the bathroom, clean yourself with it. I just went. Weight pulls it down like it was open. Ready to take a shower here. Put it on your head, buddy. Good stuff. That's the goal. That's it.